Okay, testing. Hey Nova, just coming in via voice to text, so checking to make sure it's working before I talk much. Got that swoosh noise. Hey everyone, starting the stream. Haven't done it for 2 months because we had a son, which is cool. So I've just been focusing on that. But I've been chipping away at Nova and coding, as always. I haven't used the voice to text in a while. The way that it works was driving me crazy. Actually, I just realized it's not going to work because this is using my new Nova server, which is on AWS, and so I probably just found something that I kind of updated all the transcription stuff so that it happens somewhere else, which is fine. I'll just start a new chat and fucking don't worry about it. I've cooked it. Classic, great start to the stream. So yeah, basically have had a baby, which is cool. Love him, he's great. Had a bit of time off work, and in between, mostly just like raising a baby, I've managed to get AWS working in a way that I like, so that it has like a container for video editing and like more complicated, like heavy duty stuff that needs different types of compute, and then sort of routing container that's like the main server for like managing. Hang on, I gotta take this guitar out of the room. It's funny, it's like the faintest resonance with my voice, but it like drives me mental. So as usual, quit streaming forever. Already depressed about it. Don't know why I do it, but I'm back. I'm back, baby. So I've sort of just been in this like massive, like endless well of trying to test these like big long rendering arcs where I'm rendering the content over like 10-15 minutes on one server and then passing it back to the other, and handling like scaling the load up and down and things like that. So there's a lot of new variables that could go wrong, but it takes so long to test. So I've handed that over to someone else to do some testing, and I'm going to work on something else. So let's see what. So this is Nova where we're up to. And I'm gonna kind of just get stuck in it. I've obviously haven't streamed in a while, and I don't really remember even why I do it, to be honest. But I guess that's the intro. I'm gonna put my headphones in and listen to music, or maybe I can do the music via this speaker.
Power on. The device is connected. Warning, your device is disconnected. Your device is connected.
Okay. Okay, Nova, so trying to figure out a new approach to I just need to put my headphones in. It's like just having the noise cancelling is probably part of it. Hang on, I figured this out, haven't I? So I've got to fucking put them on through here. And then I've got to play this fucking shitty music, but it's fine. Doesn't really matter. There we go. Okay, trying to figure a new approach to handling function logs for your operating system / interface. Basically, so I got everything set up, and now I want to sit down, like, which is fine. I guess I've been walking around fucking ages, so let's do it. And then I bet that something's plugged in a way that when the desk goes down, it'll collapse. And it's just been that kind of fucking running on like less sleep than usual, and like maybe feeling a bit more pressure. But one thing I did do that's nice, any Sam heads will appreciate, I think, is I set my office up better, which is cool. I feel like I could have an interview and have like a guest here or something. I don't know. It's in my head. It's like all connected to like this stream that is not something people watch or anything, but it's also just for normal life. And I put like, you can see my degree and where is it? There's a Webby there, which I didn't really win. The team won it. For some reason I got credited. Well, I think it was like the bosses just decided to put me on the list to get one of the trophies. Probably because I was going to have a mental breakdown. Unrelated. Okay, so hey Nova, trying to figure out a new approach to handling function logs. For basically, right now, when you do a command, e.g. read, it'll print page. You print read, prints another page, etc. So this ends up blowing out main log and context. However, you do need to be able to read or pass through keeping context of combo and maybe past pages, maybe not. So I was thinking at the most basic, only prints last function response command, function response. So e.g. if you were to, what would it be? So e.g. if you were to read 5 pages, it'd have maybe a stub or pointer. for first 4 and then full print of last of most recent response. This then puts onus on you to pull notes out into parallel doc. This kind of makes sense. Another consideration or thought is idea of it being a thread. So if you do initiating command function call, it starts a thread. Each function call in response stays in that thread. So maybe that's appropriate for some functions, e.g. read, but not others. So maybe it's more a property of the call type. So for example, you call a function read, starts, say, thread key read doc name 01. Read. So it's sort of like, how would that look like? I'm a bit worried I'm seeing things like reposition around me. Okay, so function, so sudo read function read doc name read doc name 01 thread starts return page 1, read next page, return page 2, read next page, function, function call, write note XYZ. So actually there, e.g. So actually there, for example, so actually there, the threaded agent would need the function and response record of the node, or wouldn't have context of doing anything but read the node, but read, which is pointless. So perhaps part of thread or added to main thread, so the read thread would have context of that action and response. So part of the reason I'm thinking the threads, and maybe that should be parked, but is way of creating sort of information architecture of the minimized past actions. So as you read through a bunch of stubs interspersed in chat is maybe less legible than, say, a block of minimized children under a read task with maybe outcomes tied to it. Finally, the other consideration, though can be treated separately, is this is dynamically modifying the prompt. Which is a full text string created each message, but not the chat log, which is raw chat logs, etc. That get used to construct the prompt, but not the chat log, which is raw chat logs, etc. that used to construct the prompt. So need to adapt the chat UI interface, which is React, to reflect the behavior of the history trimming, or alternatively, so the UI communicates and reflects what the agent is seeing. Can follow the server-side stuff once we nail it, but a consideration where I'd like the UI to reflect the prompt construction if only to help me think about it. So can you help me model and decide on a way to handle these multi-stage functions that keeps your prompt context length efficient while allowing you to traverse multiple stages, keeping the right context and pulling the right outcomes from the task. Okay. So honestly, that's like the biggest benefit I get from GPT is like trying to write out what I'm saying, thinking, and then like it does have good insights, but it's also like makes me like, it's like the ultimate rubber duck. It's a huge part of what I get out of it, and you know, I kind of recognize that. Ah shit, I turned on the fucking voice.
Challenge here of managing multi-stage function calls in a way that keeps the prompt context efficient while maintaining the ability to traverse multiple stages with the correct context. Let's boil this down to key components and a proposed solution. Key requirements. 1. Context efficiency. Maintain minimal context in the prompt to avoid and ensure functionality is important. 2. Keep track of multi-stage function calls in a cohesive manner. 3. Outcome extraction. Extract relevant outcomes from function responses and store them properly. 4. Ensure the UI reflects the constructed prompt so it aligns with what the agent is seeing and processing. Options explored. 1. Last function response element with stubs pointers. Pros: keeps context minimal, reduces context pull in the prompt. Cons: may miss out on important intermediate context, unless it is manually extracted and stored. 2. Threaded approach. Structured handling of stages. Easier navigation through dynamic tasks. Cons: needs more sophisticated management, potentially increases complexity for simple tasks. We should combine a simplified version of the threaded approach for readability and context. Here's a proposal with more granularity. Proposal: context-efficient thread management 1. On performing a multi-stage function call, G, read, initiate a thread key, such as read docname 01. 2.
I need to
Function
mute
call
this, I don't want to
initialization.
hear it.
Invoke the function.
I need like an
read
X
as
to
the
pay
start of
respects
the thread.
style.
Example function call read docname 01. Function response
I guess I'm
handling.
just gonna have to deal with it.
Each subsequent function call under the
There we
same
go.
thread is appended succinctly.
Here, I guess then we have the initiating message in the original array in the main chat, so it can anchor linearly. Just an idea. That's the start of that. Okay, so also interestingly could open up another thread type. Oh, Jesus. Stop. Also could open up another thread type, which is just reply response under other chats, but forget that for now. Okay, so that's how it's captured. Now, when a message is from you, agent, and it is a function, it logs as a message for rendering and log purposes, but also passed as a function, which then runs command, runs the function, receives a system response, and returns to GPT, all in the same thread.
You wanna go out to Boathouse Devonshire Tea?
Yeah, sure. When?
Well, I gotta pick up that playmat at say 11:30, so leave here 15:15.
Sure, pretty soon.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm trying to see if they're all in the same thread. Which I think I'd imagined siloing, so main thread would only see that it was started and an end, but thinking now more like a thread status under the initiating message, and then other messages on main would have that progress anchored linearly, but also see the loop. Though parallel to that, I've been thinking about ways to bubble up active work for you. So anyways, we have when the function returns, at the moment it just is always success and just stays on main. I think I was thinking that in thread land it would return success or error, which would break out or continue for multi-stage. I think maybe just returns whatever, and agent decides if it responds with more commands or message to user just breaks out. So linear on that thread, but not limited by action type and response. Okay, so then at chat time, what happens is it passes through the chat list and creates the log part of the prompt. So at the moment just treats like, you know, a big list. So I think that's when we pass main chat list and indicate initiating message or the thread list constructs naively. So gets main thread stuff, then if EG function on main uses the key name doc etc to call the sub objects, so naturally if calls the sub objects, so and adds to array to final array. So then we can modify e.g. if not last, truncate, etc. If e.g. convo is happening parallel to thread in main, you get all stubs, then your latest chats, but in thread you just get in thread loop. So if prompt being constructed as part of sending back function response, you get so prompt being, so you get chat context leading up to thread responses, and full last message. Then counting on agent to write to note in parallel to pull info out, essentially. And then possibly a message to user from thread chain also breaks and would ideally bring outcomes, summaries, and links. What do you think of this approach? This is basically laying out the pseudo of what I've set it up for, so a starting point. I'll add commands. I'll add code chunks below. You may that match from handle message. And then from prompt, from construct prompt. So this is what I've got, and not using threads. I've obviously taken the thinking a bit further with you now, and then in my reply. But can you comment on that information flow and pseudocode, hopefully informed by current code, suggest any improvements or changes in logic, and then rewrite based on current architecture to achieve the goal on the server handling end. All right, I'm gonna go to have tea, and I doubt that it'll be able to pull off a full code rewrite like that, but I just figured why not go for a one shot.